Hi, and welcome to Cinema Gulp. I'm John.
And I'm Ben, and today we're doing a Gulp review of Isle of Dogs. All right, boy. Ready? Fetch! Fetch!
I'm not going to go get that because you told me to. I'm going to get it because I feel very sorry for you.
Okay, well, John, I'm excited because it's been 2 years ago next month that we started Cinema Gulp, and this is the first opportunity we've ever had to review a Wes Anderson film. That's awesome in and of itself, but what's more awesome is that the movie's pretty awesome itself.
I'd say Wes Anderson is a little bit hit or miss for me, but more hit than miss. Even the ones that I'd consider a miss have some great stuff going on in them. But I really love Fantastic Mr. Fox. He did a great job with that animated film. Such a unique... Sorry, I'm trying to get this to squeak because it's a dog toy. But he just created such an interesting animated film with that one, and he did it again. This is another masterpiece, in my opinion. At least a masterpiece within animation.
Agreed. It's the coolest looking anime. It's hard to even say if it's just stop motion, because there's times when it changes perspective, it changes everything. It changes animation. When you see someone on television, it's a cartoon.
Yeah, that was really cool.
It's a two-dimensional cartoon, which is really interesting.
And just the way that these, I guess it's puppets and stop animation, and that's kind of where you're saying, like, you can't even tell sometimes when it's what the style of animation is, because sometimes is it stop animation with actual puppets, it's so unique. And what I really love is like the details that they get, especially like on the humans. They make them look puppet-like, but there's still these details that make them look very human. There's times where they almost look almost real. And when they get the movement of people, like there's like a scene with some sumo wrestlers and stuff like that, the movement of the bodies is very interesting, the way they create this. It's different than any other stop motion. It's very fluid, I think.
It is fluid, It's not just in your face, pixelation.
Jerky in any way.
Yeah, and I agree with you. There's a lot of close-ups of humans' faces as well. I mean, a lot of it is close-ups of the dogs' faces, the human faces. So basically, if you don't know anything about this film, it's acclaimed director Wes Anderson. One of the whatever you think of him, he's a master auteur. You'll never not know a Wes Anderson film. That could be a good thing or a bad thing. But this is the second attempt at stop-motion animation, and I think it's a better film than Fantastic Mr. Fox personally. I didn't connect with that one as much as this one because this movie is for dog lovers.
You think your dog's the best? You haven't met my dog. My dog be blessed. His bark is like an EMP, knocking out electricity.
Yes, and that's why we loved this one. We love dogs. So, I kind of agree with you there. I think it's almost even funnier, a funnier film.
Set 20 years in sort of this like dystopian future in Japan. And there's an outbreak of a dog flu, so everyone just decides to sort of maroon dogs over to a trash island, which is really sad. And I was thinking about this last night. Wes Anderson is so great at subtly and very he can show you disturbing things and bring out disturbing images and scenes and ideas in this very casual way, where it's just sort of part of things, but it's not necessarily like, oh my god, look how sick these dogs are, look how depressed these dogs are, look how skinny they are. He kind of just says in a very like, oh, and by the way, here's what they look like, and he passes it up quick. He's such a master at doing that. He's done that when he's dealt with death in other movies, and he just kind of like shows it, and it's just part of the story, and it doesn't give you time to kind of process it in like a grieving way. Yeah,
there's definitely moments in this movie where it's hard to watch, especially dealing with dogs that are being put in kind of dangerous situations, dogs being mistreated. Just the state of these dogs that have to live on this trash island was really hard at the beginning of the movie to kind of be enjoying the movie when you're thinking about the reality of what there's dogs out there that really are being mistreated, that live off of a trash pile.
But he does it in such a joyful way that you don't get real depressed because you know it's going somewhere,
Yeah, deep down inside you can feel it, but the movie's also entertaining and has its lighthearted side to it and has its Wes Anderson style that is always humorous. Even if it's got a very deadpan, dry style of humor, there's still that underlining theme of humor throughout all of it. But I also like how, he's able to mix in this one in particular, he mixes in a lot of situations that deal with the world today. It deals with propaganda, it deals with political conspiracies, it deals with
fake news.
It deals with fear-mongering, just a lot of things that are very timely for today.
This is such a unique, original idea. Him and Jason Schwartzman and two other of their writing partners, forgive me, I can't remember their names, wrote it. And just the mythology and the setup of the prologue, it's so much fun. And he loves to kind of open up to a certain scenario and a setting that is going to give you a prologue that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the rest of the story. Mm-hmm. He almost likes to present you with a storyteller to tell the story.
Most of the films, I think, have a narrator, at least of the latest few.
The cast, Chief, Rex, Boss, Duke, King, Spots, Nutmeg.
So many names.
The list goes on. These dogs are all awesome. They're played by some regulars like Bill Murray, Edward Norton.
Jeff Goldblum's a little bit of a regular.
He's a regular now. This is like his third or fourth. Scarlett Johansson doing a cute little role as the kind of the love interest dog, Nutmeg.
And then Bryan Cranston is kind of the lead dog in the movie.
He's awesome.
And he was so great.
Liev Schreiber was great too.
Which I wasn't even aware it was him till after we saw the movie.
Right. Yeah, the cast is awesome.
That's a fun little bit, the way they handle language in the film. They even set it up at the beginning of the different ways that language will be used in the film, because you mainly have dogs in the film speaking, and they set you up for why you're going to hear the dogs in English, and why other characters, humans and stuff, how their language is going to be presented. It was a really fun setup, and the way it was used, and also all of the title cards. That was a really fun use of the titles and the split screen. I mean, a lot of that's very typical of Wes Anderson's style, but it really worked in this film. I thought.
It shows you that he wants to make a film set in Japan. He doesn't want to insult anyone, and he doesn't want to make anyone look stupid. It shows you what like a really smart, not just a smart filmmaker, but a smart individual like Wes Anderson can do when people kind of give him carte blanche to make a film. Because films made by committee, you would end up insulting somebody when you place your animated film in Japan, and every single cast member in the voice cast is pretty much a white person or a black person, but not a Japanese person, aside from a few. This is Wes Anderson. He's covering all bases, and there's all these different ways for people to enjoy this movie. If I have one gripe with this movie, it's that it establishes a group of dogs. You have Bryan Cranston and Ed Norton and Bill Murray and Jeff Goldblum and Balabin or something, whatever.
Who's another regular of Wes Anderson's.
But Edward Norton kind of appears to be sort of the leader, or at least the main focus of this group, and he seems to be the one wanting to do the right thing and helping the kid, and gets everybody else to join in on the adventure. And then pretty much right at the second half of the movie, they kind of just throw every other character away. Edward Norton, Bill Murray's character, Jeff Goldblum's character, the other guy. And then it becomes like an adventure with Atari and with Chief, who is Bryan Cranston. And I just felt I didn't really get that, because you're not really, when you're introduced to Chief, you don't like him. There is a great arc there with that character, but I just felt I felt like Rex. I thought Rex totally got fucked, because like Rex was the one that was like he's the one that, hey, the wrong dog died. He like got the kid to come back down. Like, yeah. I don't know. I just felt like that was my biggest gripe, is that they could have cut out a couple of other scenes with some of the humans on the other side, not on the island, but on Japan. Like, they could have cut out a few visually stunning, beautiful scenes, but didn't really progress the story forward. I think you could have given more time to the rest of the pack of dogs, if you cut out a couple of the human things, especially the irritating but funny white exchange student girl.
Greta Gerwig.
Is that who that was?
Yeah, of course that's who that was. Even though every moment of this film is visually stunning, some of that human stuff maybe could have been cut down a little bit. I don't know if we would completely throw these characters out, but cut them down so that we could spend a little bit more time on the Isle of Dogs.
Yeah, don't throw anyone out.
with the pack of dogs that were first introduced that were really interesting. And within that pack, they found a way to keep them all interesting for their screen time. But the one that seemed to be a little bit shortchanged was Bill Murray's character, which seems surprising. I mean, the comic genius Bill Murray deserves a few more funny lines, I think.
Apparently, Bill Murray and Jeff Goldblum both recorded their voiceover work over the phone, and then they filtered a way to make it sound great. So it's not like these guys did a whole shitload of work for this movie, but character-wise, the characters got shafted.
But Goldblum's character was great. I mean, he was.
I laughed the hardest when he spoke.
Death Wish. Freak number one. Well, freak number one was a dangerous guy. Did bad things, but I don't think much of him.
He was able to be his Goldblum self within this dog character, but they gave him an interesting little thing that he keeps coming back to that made him stand out.
Obviously, you can tell what we thought of Isle of Dogs, but we took to the streets and asked some fans what they thought of the film.
I thought it was all right. Nothing special.
Oh my god, this was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Didn't really care for their interpretation of the dogs, but maybe I'm just being picky.
Perfect in every single way. Beautiful film. Oh my god.
So you can see what fans thought of the film. I love that. This is the best type of animation for me. I love the stop motion look. I love the heart of it. Most of these kind of films are done by people that really enjoy the process of pixelation and of stop motion and of animation. You've got to be such an inventive, creative person to have even a short film of this kind of animation in you. And he made, I want to say, maybe an hour and 40-minute long full feature film of this. It just shows the strengths of Wes Anderson, why he sometimes takes 3-4 years between films, because he wants to always make them a perfect Wes Anderson movie. And when you watch Isle of Dogs, you see the heart that he always puts into almost everything he's done. This one specifically has so much heart. If you're a dog lover, you'll frickin' love this movie. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll be totally invested, and you have more to do with why this movie was made than non-dog lovers. Trust me, you can tell in the narrative. So I'm gonna give it 8.5 gulps.
Nice, that's a great score. Yeah, I agree with Wes Anderson being like a meticulous filmmaker that takes his time to perfect whatever he's working on. I don't always connect with every story that he's told, but in terms of the style that he brings and how original his style is, the way that he shoots things in this, even though it's animation, it's very similar to the style that he uses in his live action films of kind of these flat frames with a lot of whip pans but it really works in this film. It accentuates the animation and the details that he puts into it. The production design of this film, it looks awesome. Everything from the mega city to the way that looks to even the trash island and how disgusting it can be at times. That was something we brought up, of how this film can feel kind of gross and disgusting but still be heartwarming in the same scene, and very funny. So yeah, it juggles a lot of different tones, I think, but strictly being a Wes Anderson film, like the tone that he creates in all of his films, this really lives up to that. So yeah, my score on this film, I really enjoyed it. I would give it a 7.5.
Okay, so that was our gulp review for Isle of Dogs. We hope you enjoyed it. If so, please click like and or subscribe to Cinema Gulp today. Leave some comments in the comments section below. John, where can they find us?
Check us out in the Doghouse or on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Look for Cinema Gulp.
Until next time, I'm Ben.
And I'm John. Ow! We drink your cinema.
I drink it up!
Straight up, it's a dog's life. Wait, stop that track. Let's rewind, retract, post slack, and roll back to the days when I hung with G-Mac. You got the face facts, so relax. What about Spain?
I'm loving Southern Cali, drinking brews in the alleys, holding down the stages from Diego to the Valley, busting up my cow and getting lifted